Hey YouTubers, been messing with the light so much I've lost track of what I was saying. Alright, or thinking about saying. Alright, I've already stated that I don't like all these hodgepodge, potpourri, whatever videos, because it gets impossible to try to describe it if I ever get around to doing that. Okay, still Houston. It is Saturday, September 11th, 8:46 a.m. Alright. Okay. Yesterday I fell asleep before I got around to using the sweet potatoes. See, that's the thing when you when time management is difficult and you buy things like sweet potatoes or avocados, perishables, right? I mean, if you buy something you can stick in the freezer, you can leave it there till the second coming kind of thing, so big deal, right? But yeah, plus since I'm not used to preparing avocado, I actually have to look it up on YouTube to see how to best do all that kind of thing. You need a sharper knife than the one I've got, but whatever. I'm going to try to make do with what I have. But yeah, I'm going to review that again because that was a messy business. Once you know how to cut into something and prepare it, you don't ever have to bother thinking about it anymore. But until you get to that point, it's going to be a bit of a hassle. So, since I've never been much of a fan of avocados, I'm going to have to work on it until it's a common thing and I don't have to think about it. Yeah, what I ended up doing yesterday was messy. But I'll work on it. So there'll come a point when I don't need any preparation for it. I just buy it and do whatever I'm going to do with it. Yeah. So I've already got off on a tangent. Okay. Yesterday I did try to use up what I have so I don't have to throw it out. I did my messy avocado thing. Just cut it up any way I can manage to cut it up. I'm going to review the video again. I'll put a link in this thing. And I'll also probably put a link to FlavCity again. It's just because it's such a useful channel. And yeah, what else did I do? The salmon. And a couple of spoons of just whatever spoon you happen to have, assuming it's not a tiny little teaspoon kind of thing. A couple of spoons of olive oil, just mixed it up, put it on a piece of bread, you know, whatever. So that was my lunch. I also nuked some of my popcorn and the lemon juice I mentioned before. That I started to take with me to work. Wrote it in my little thingy. Really, I mean, you could just go without the dressing. You don't even have to. Because some combinations, this is if you need to moisten the thing up, you can just put a few drops of water from your water bottle, or just go without the dressing, without anything. Or if you just feel like being a little not too healthy about it, just use a little bit of the dressing that comes with it, just a little tiny little bit. But yeah, whatever. or water or something like this. But anyway, I don't think this is organic. I'm going to go look at Whole Foods. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. I'm trying to catch up on my. Really, I was not expecting to sleep through the afternoon and evening, but yeah, apparently I just lasted until early evening. Then I had to go to sleep, and I didn't wake up until very early this morning. So I obviously needed the sleep. I needed to catch up on some sleep. Anyway, eventually I suppose I'm going to look for organic lemon juice or lime juice or whatever it is. But for now, I think I'm just going to use this to make lemonade. Right? I've already got the lemon juice that I've stopped taking with me to lunch to use at lunch. I got the stevia packs I take with me to add to my coffee. And I have bottled water, right? So if I feel that this raspberry lemonade is not healthy enough, and I get sick of water and coffee, just take whatever bottled water you're already using, the sweetener you're already using, the lemon or lime juice you're already using. Try to make it organic. And make that your beverage. Again, if you get sick of just water and coffee, right? So whatever. Use what you got if you can. No point in reinventing the wheel unless you have to. Okay. So yeah, you get sick of water and coffee, make lemonade. Try to make it organic, but whatever. Okay, so I made my first attempt at using the avocado. Very messy. I'll get better at it. The salmon packs thing. A couple of spoonfuls of olive oil. Mix it up. I chopped up I ended up chopping up the avocado into little pieces. Mixed it up. And put it on a piece of bread. You can toast the bread if you want to. The avocado toast thing was a big trend. I don't know if it still is, but I'm not going to run out and buy a toaster. Forget it. Use what you have. All right? You don't have to get too trendy and fancy with anything. Just use what you've got. So I just put that made my own spread thing, put it on a piece of bread, that's it. So that's plenty. The sweet potato. Will I use that later on today? I'll try to use it later on today. Whatever. So that's the thing with perishables. I mean, I bought it a couple of weeks ago, expecting to use it, but yeah, you got to keep in mind that it may take a few days for it to actually get ripe. But since when you're buying things for the first time, you don't really think about it too much. You'll get used to it. At least I hope so, anyway. Again, once I've used avocados and sweet potatoes 3 or 4 times, I won't have to think about it anymore. So it won't be a big deal after a while. Until then, it's going to be a bit messy, but whatever. I'll get used to it. It's affordable. I mean, if you're working, you're making somewhat decent money, you can start, shopping healthier, eating healthier when you can. But yeah, it takes 3 or 4 times before you get familiar enough with it so you don't have to think about it after a while. You know, it's just, you throw it together. It's not a big deal. So whatever. Beginnings are always messy, so whatever. Okay. So, yeah, this is going to be hodgepodge. I know. But, which is why I'm making this video so early, just in case anything occurs to me later on that I think is significant enough to upload. Okay, update. So, catching up on my sleep. Apparently I needed it. The food thing, I'm trying to get rid of my perishables, or at least start using my perishables, so I don't have to throw them out. I can use them hopefully 2 or 3 times quickly, so that way I don't have to think about it, and so I'll be better prepared next time. CBS, my weekly skateboarding thing, yeah, forget about it. I'll do it next week. I think it's going to change from, for me practicing my skateboarding thing once a week to every other week. At this point, it's just making sure I have the equipment. Okay? Because I don't have the time. Really, I do not have the time at all to be doing all this. Forget it. I don't. I do not have the time. And I certainly don't have the energy. It's not coming together. Forget it. So, at this point, it's just making sure I have the equipment. I'll do this again next week. I don't know. Pick up another pack of toilet paper, a couple of packs of toilet paper thing, whatever. It's just to make sure I've got the equipment. It's just to make sure I have the store that's open 24/7. It's to make sure I know the best route to take to get to that store. The Circle K factor kind of thing, right? So that's what that is. All right. What's the food? Dealing with perishables. Eating healthier. Being mindful of what it means to eat healthy. And the consequences of not choosing to eat healthy. And it's getting pretty serious. I think I've just answered my own. I will be adding FlavCity to my featured channel list. There's no getting around it. With the pandemic, if you're actually stuck wherever you are, you have to deal with this food supply you have to deal with. Yeah, okay. For whatever reason, financial, social, legal reasons, you can't get the hell out of wherever the hell you are. Yeah. So, I'm making FlavCity one of my featured channels. Well, I might as well go ahead and do that. I don't know. You know, you're so careful financially that you don't want to go ahead and toss what you have. So, I've said it. Well, now I've got to do it. Yeah, I'm going to, even though this is organics. Organic pasta sauce. What was the thing? Includes 1 gram added sugars. Total sugars 6. Wait a minute. This was actually, I don't see what's wrong with this. Was this the new ketchup, like the new tomato thing I buy instead of the thing? Because I don't see what's wrong with this. I think I may have already tossed the one I was referring to. Now I'm confusing myself. Alright. No, this was not. Hold on. Excuse me, boys and girls. Okay. This was the tomato thing, right? Yeah, this definitely was the tomato thing. Because so what I spent on this, I'm not even gonna. Okay, include 0 added sugars. Hold on here. Includes 1 gram of added sugars, 2% of this thing. Total carbohydrates. Alright, hold on. Total fat. This one has 2%, this one has 9%. Saturated fat, 1 gram. Sodium is 23, this is 18. Total carbohydrates, this is 4, this is 2. Dietary fibers. It's 2%. Well, this isn't so bad. And this one was really expensive. It shocked me how expensive this was. It's like $8 or well, I can't remember how much. I don't remember how much this one was. I don't know. And the thing of it is, I don't use this so much. I don't use, this. Okay, I'm putting this back in the fridge. I'm not tossing this. This is, I guess, I don't know. What to think of this stuff. Alright. But anyway, that's there. I gotta review that video, I guess. Okay, now this stuff. Okay, now this is like 10% of the sugar thingy. And this is 7%. But anyway, if you take into consideration that this is only 1 tablespoon, if you're using this puppy, odds are you're putting at least 3 times or 4 times more than the 1 serving, right? So you can easily rack it up to like 33% of the amount of sugar you're supposed to be using right off the bat. So this is always going to be, I think this is probably the most dangerous thing about it. And this one, you're definitely using more than just 2 tablespoons for a salad, especially if you're eating a lot of salad. And this is going to be 10%. For what they claim is 1 serving. So you're going to be at least 30% of this too. You're eating salad every day and you're putting already 30 to 40% of the sugar you're supposed to for the entire day. And this you're putting, so this ends up being dangerous. That's not so dangerous when it's just, you're not using too much of it to begin with. It really depends on how much you use. I mean, this is what, like 2% of your daily sugar you're supposed to have. So if you're using 4 times, it's going to be 8%. You got, just assume you're putting at least 4 times the amount that they say you're doing. This is pretty dangerous already. Okay, I can see that. This tomato thing is what? 0%. So zero added, so I can see why the heck he likes that one so much. You can get a little crazy with that and still not suffer. So that's going to actually be the safest one. Alright. This has got to go. I mean, immediately kind of thing. Alright, so that's tossed. So we can toss that. Not gonna okay, so whatever. Yeah, this is the food management thing I'm talking about. If you took it as seriously as you should, it would be more than a full-time. You would be a Paul Parish, really. I mean, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'll give you the link to the thing in the description thing, and I'm going to add it to the featured channels because, yeah, if you got to be where, and with this pandemic, you're going to be wherever the heck you are for a minute. So, he's a featured channel now. Okay. What else? What else? So what are you going to be doing here? Oh, what I actually was spending some good part of my morning up to this point. Yeah, I woke up pretty early. I've started my flashcards. Again, my previous videos, I've gotten into talking about flashcards and language material and stuff. The thing of it is language material is luck of the draw, really. A lot of the places you may be interested in traveling to, they may not already be ready-made, pre-packaged language places. I mean, if you can just go and get any kind of in-flight thing, and or you know, what other thing comes with an audio that I really like? I don't know. In-flight tends to be my favorite, but because they really focus on travel phrases, and all in all, you are always going to be a foreigner. Okay, you're never going to sound like a native. But you can become familiar enough with the language to at least increase your level of comfort in your surroundings, in those surroundings. Don't ever underestimate that, okay? It makes a significant difference in your experience, all right? You may never speak like a native. You may never master the language. You may never even be conversant in the language. But if your comprehension, if you know enough phrases to go and order a cup of coffee, if your comprehension is decent, that you know, at least that you know what language is being spoken, and you can catch a significant amount of what's happening, assuming you have some kind of context. Look, a lot of your communication is going to be pointing and gestures. All right, don't kid yourself. All right, it'd be nice if everyone was so sociable in their nature and had such an unlimited amount of patience that they're willing to do the back and forth thing until they actually get enough practice to be conversant. The only way to get good at speaking a language is to speak the language, okay? But if you are not very sociable, or if your travel experience is not so comfortable, and Really, it takes money to make traveling that comfortable. All right, so for normal people that have to deal with slings and arrows of outrageous fortune in dealing with travel issues, your initial experience may not be comfortable enough for you to maintain the level of patience you would need to actually become conversant. All right, and you may not settle into that place long enough to actually have to be serious about developing your language skills. And if you're given any other option, you probably won't anyway, so don't worry about it. But yeah, you should still never underestimate how much more comfortable you would be in your surroundings if you acquire some level of knowledge about the language. I mean, here are my flashcards from Turkish and Vietnamese, okay? I still have them, and I still consider them useful. Now, with this pandemic thing, if I'm going to be here a while, I'm thinking I may actually laminate these, all right? This is Malay. I've just started my Malay flashcards. I never meant those to be long-term, okay? This is like introduction thing into the part of a process, you might say. But if I'm going to have to be on hold here, I don't know how long, right? And the way I'm using this, or plan to use this, is if I'm waiting for a bus or a train, the way I use Duolingo now. And yeah, I still think Spanish is going to be useful to me as a gauge, so I don't become too unrealistic about the role language plays. All right? Because now, as the demographics are shifting, and there are going to be more Spanish speakers in this country, a lot more, right? So me increasing my vocabulary in Spanish is just going to help me feel more comfortable in the situation. So on that level, and on the fact that it serves as an excellent gauge as far as what to expect as far as me mastering other languages is concerned, my time is not being wasted. Okay? So I increase my vocabulary in Spanish. I'll feel that much more comfortable with the shifting demographics and all that kind of stuff. Again, it actually helps me plan out how I'm going to approach other languages and what to expect. Although I will not have the prepackaged language material, I'm very comfortable already with making flashcards. Okay? Very comfortable with making flashcards. So I can take whatever language material is available and tailor it for my needs and reinforce that learning with my own flashcards. So it definitely still serves a purpose. Okay? And once I've actually finished Duolingo with the Spanish thing, I'm going to be switching over to the flashcards I'm making. But considering my life, again, I may be laminating these things because these things are going to be tossed in my backpack or my tote bag or whatever it is I'm dealing with at that particular time, right? So, yeah, I may get these laminated. I don't know. Still debating that one. Because it also will make it a tad bit heavier, and that's never good. But yeah, if you're carrying around your flashcards, they're going to get beat up. And if they've got to last a minute because nobody's going any place anytime soon, you may want to get them laminated. I don't know. It's just a thought. I'm still playing with the idea. Okay, so FlavCity is going to become a featured channel. I may start laminating my flashcards. And yeah, the time I was hoping I would, yeah, my skateboarding thing is turning into a alternating week thing. So instead of every week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Again, at this point, it's just making sure I have all the equipment. And I know the best route to take. Because the thing as far as the work, yeah, there's no place to skate. So my backup is actually becoming Lyft. And if I can't figure out, okay, now where do they put the tip thing? If I'm still writing the thing and it doesn't pop up at me, I can have the driver themselves point out, because I'm sure every driver knows how to explain that part, and have him check his screen thing, because they can check it to make sure it got on the thing if you don't trust those app things and trust that they're getting the money that you want them to. So yeah, I think that's going to be my new form of tipping, because always having cash on hand, you know, you're going to go through it too fast. All right, so yeah, although I don't recommend always having cash on hand, sometimes it's useful to have cash on hand. And nowadays you never know if the system goes down. Maybe having $5 on you is a good idea. All right. Maybe 10 is a little better, but now you're starting to get into money that you have to look around you to determine is it safe to have $10 on you. But whatever. That's a personal decision. All right. So, knowing what store to go to 24/7, best routes, determining what's safe to carry on you. Maybe you ought to start laminating your language material if you're going to be somewhere for longer than you thought. Yeah, the FlavCity is going to, because I wrote down, so I don't want to, I know it's already too much. What else was I looking at? I was looking at my